Welcome back to a brand new episode of NH Unscripted. I'm your host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the hee-haw-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. I got my Nehru jacket on, your job. Kick back on the waterbed, baby. Make sure the heater's on. Yeah, fire up the incense. Get the lava lamp going. What the heck? Go all the way in. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM for the folks in Concord on your transistor radios. 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester. So, some things happen in life that are just, serendipitous, right? My wife and I are at a New Hampshire fair, expo, and we come across this exhibition, or exhibit, I should say. And it's for gummies. And it's for mushroom gummies. And I'm like, really? What's up with this? So I invited the gentleman, the CEO, founder of Brainwave, which is not electrical. We'll get to that in a second. Of Brainwave. Chris Joseph, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ray. Appreciate you having me, man. And super stoked you found us at the, it was probably the Made in New Hampshire Expo.
Yes, it was. Oh, it was out there. Wasn't it Deerfield? Was that were you at Deerfield this year?
Could have been. We'll be doing the Deerfield Fair, but I don't think that's till September or October. Let me see what that could have been. Was it last month?
Yeah.
May, maybe?
Yes, it was. It was that soon. Yeah, that early. Yeah.
That might have been the Live Freely Market in Hampton. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Deerfield. It was the New Hampshire Farm and Forest Expo.
That's
Deerfield,
it.
Yeah.
Yep. Chris, give us an overview, and then I'll have to be honest. We blow through our bags of Brainwave.
Yeah.
Blow through them. And I have questions about this. So tell us a little bit about how the company got started, and why it even exists at this point.
Totally, man. Totally. I think the first thing I should mention, because it's so confusing for people, you hear brainwave, you hear mushrooms, and you see a gummy. I want to make sure everyone's crystal clear. It's not psychedelic. There's no THC, no CBD, nothing that would ever be psychoactive.
And half of my audience just groaned.
I know. Hey, look it, man. We can chat about the other stuff too. I say that's in a different bag. But no, these pouches are super powered, turbocharged, healthy, functional, medicinal mushrooms. These mushrooms are nothing you wouldn't find on a dinner plate or in like a nice herbal tea. The main active that we have is one called lion's mane, and a lot of people are probably familiar with that. There's a couple of big brands out there that are making it pretty famous. Everyone's probably heard of Rise Coffee or mushroom coffee in general.
Yes.
And and it's getting popular for a great reason. It's extremely effective. There's thousands of years of historic use, and probably over the last 20, 30, 40 years, and especially currently, there's some amazing scientific studies that back up the historical use and the anecdotal evidence that people are finding when they take a high-quality lion's mane mushroom or other mushrooms like cordyceps, reishi, chaga. They all have a really long history. Some right here in New England, like chaga, which thrives on birch trees in cold weather. So,
right.
Our neighbors in Maine and, all around New Hampshire, people find this stuff in their backyard.
Yep.
So what we did is we decided we're going to take 6 of the heavy hitters. We went with lion's mane, reishi, chaga, cordyceps, turkey tail, and maitake. We found an organic regenerative farm that has this amazing superfood growth process, which essentially means, and that's here in the USA.
Okay. A
lot of these supplement brands now, they're importing from China. Yes. They can technically say made in the USA, but they're getting their stuff from overseas, and it's real sketchy. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too far. Yeah, we can get there later. Anyways, think of it like a mushroom multivitamin for your brain.
Yes.
I wanted to make it tasty and convenient because consistency with this product, with herbal products in general, is very important. Doesn't act like a pharmaceutical. This helps you help yourself. Foundational health over time, especially in the brain and cognitive function area. So that's kind of the long and short of it.
Would you consider it a nootropic?
Yes. Absolutely. There's a lot of things that are nootropics, but lion's mane in particular, it can activate cognitive function on a short-term level, but the real magic is when you take these things over time. But a nootropic is absolutely, that is falls within the definition.
Yeah. So I was telling you earlier, my wife's a little angry with me because we had this nice big bag. It's actually a second bag. And she says to me the other day, we were out, and she says, after a week of being out, Ray, when are they coming? When are the gummies coming? And I said, baby, we're on a subscription. Maybe I didn't put enough in, but I love them. I mean, I really, really enjoy them. I am a nootropic kind of biohacker freak, and this just falls right in my lane. Why? So I wanted to ask you, Chris, you have us taking 2 in the morning. Is there a reason why you didn't have like 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon on the package? Is it? Can you explain it? Would it be bad to do that?
It would not be bad at all. I do encourage people to experiment with their dosage, when and how many. I think 2 in the morning is just a great start. And I guess the simple answer would be simplicity. I wanted people to be able to remember to take them both at the same time.
Got you.
And I think when you take them both at the same time, you up your chances of getting that short-term experiential benefit, which is probably the adaptogenic nature of these mushrooms, which really help to balance hormone levels and through that, balancing and uplifting your mood.
Yep.
Now, not everyone gets those short-term benefits, and the last thing I want to be is hyperbolic about our claims. There's enough companies doing that. But the reason is, it does up those chances, and it simply helps you remember to take them both. If you're doing it at 2 different times a day, it adds to the complexity. The cool thing is, though, where this is not a stimulant in any way, you could certainly take them at night. Now, everyone's a little different, and like I say, I do encourage people to experiment. The cool thing is with lion's mane in particular, when you go to sleep at night, your brain is going through regenerative cycles. It does all sorts of things. If you were practicing golf or guitar that day, your brain will go on overdrive and practice those patterns and rhythms or swing patterns, whatever. So if you're taking lion's mane at night, it has different benefits than it would as far as, clearing things out and keeping your brain healthy versus if you take it during the day where you might get some of those, cognitive sharpness, maybe a bit of an easier time articulating ideas. So that's why I do encourage experimentation. There's no problem with it, especially where these things are so natural.
Yep.
The word supplement's nice, but I look at it more like food is medicine. So with that being said, man, you could try some of our more sensitive customers just take 1 a day.
Yeah.
Some folks take them in the afternoon. But again, I do think a great starting point is what you guys are doing. Sort of as you're getting into your day, you pop 2 and it's something to look forward to.
Dude, she has that bag right by the coffee pot every morning.
Nice.
Just so we don't forget. We each just take 2. And it is subtle. It's very subtle, but we notice the difference. It's fascinating to me.
I love that. And it's my favorite, my favorite thing is when customers do feel that difference, even if it is subtle. And it should be. It should be.
Correct.
Because, again, this isn't a pharmaceutical. This isn't some, overproduced molecule that we're stripping all the natural compounds away. As a matter of fact, we've gone out of our way to make sure it is extremely natural, where a lot of I can almost, in my research, I can say definitively, I have not found a single other gummy that uses anything besides a concentrate or an extracted concentrate, which is good. You do want that, but we're the only gummy that includes a pure powder, which is really as close to the natural form as you can get, and the concentrate on top of it to condense those nootropic compounds, but also give you that fiber and that protein that gets stripped away, which is more beneficial for gut health, and it does add to the nice texture that you've probably noticed and why your bags are going a little faster than maybe they should.
They're almost too good.
Yeah.
They're almost too good. And I mean that sincerely. That's not just hype. They're almost too good.
It's a huge selling point, Ray. Like as the founder, I didn't anticipate going to as many of these expos and events as I did.
Yeah.
But it's turned into a superpower for us because people come over, they try a sample, and they're like, "Oh my God!" And it's turned me into a believer that a healthy ritual should be enjoyable. It's almost like when you're training your dog, you train him with treats, and you want to associate the good stuff with pleasure, with with a good time, it just makes it that much easier, to support yourself. So
hence my wife's Pavlovian response when there's no more.
There you go, Pavlovian response. I might have to incorporate that into the marketing.
Hang on a second. We take a break.
Sure.
Pay some bills. Time to pay some bills. My friends, you are listening to NH Unscripted. Days like today are why we get out of bed, isn't it? We are coming to you from the Hollywood Square-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans, 101.9 FM for those beautiful, beautiful souls of Manchester. Chris Joseph is on the line from a company called Brainwave, which is not anything what it sounds like it would be. We're going to peel back a little bit more on this. I have a lot of questions for him. We'll be right back. Woo, baby, we are just one toke over the line, sweet Jesus. You are listening to NH Unscripted. Man, this is health is so serious to so many people in our industry. Brain health, physical health. I mean it. While we do try to focus a lot here on the entertainment side, folks, what good is entertainment if you're not healthy and can't do your job? So, Chris Joseph is on the line talking Brainwave, his product, which is a gummy, mushroom gummy. Not psilocybin, not leaning that way, more just towards the lion's mane, typical stuff you'll find. Chris, tell us a little bit more about the product itself, if you would, why it's important to you that it be healthy, organic, or natural, whatever the company is focusing on. Yeah,
absolutely, Ray. It's so important for us to be sourced here in the USA because when you're in a trendy market like, nootropics, like medicinal or functional mushrooms, you get a lot of fly-by-night companies. They fly in here, they get all their products from overseas, and they slap a label on a stock product, and they throw a lower price on it. And it's unfortunate. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for customers because they're getting crappier products, not feeling the benefits, and sort of writing off a really powerful, amazing supplement that we can get and health benefits from mushrooms. So for us, the most important thing, as I was founding this company, I absolutely refused to cut corners on quality because I knew I'm not a marketer. I'm not an advertising guy. I'm not a salesman. I needed the product to speak for itself, and I figured everything would kind of flow downhill from there. So for us, when I found this organic regenerative farm that grows their mushrooms on a superfood substrate, and a substrate is just a mushroom way of saying what the thing grows in, I knew I'd found a great partner. And to go into depth a bit on that superfood growth process.
Yeah, please do.
If you're sourcing mushrooms from China, they're very likely growing them on wood chips or a subpar substrate.
Probably drywall, for all I know.
No, dude, honestly, you'd be surprised. Like, really. And then they sit in a boat for a couple weeks or months, doing God knows what. They don't know if they've been properly dried, or if they have been dried, they've probably been rushed, so they're burning a lot of the polysaccharides and other nutrients that you want. Long story short, I spend likely 3 to 4 times what anyone else spends on their raw mushrooms. So my margins aren't all that good, and our prices are a little higher. But I'm not a businessman, and that's not what I set out to be. I wanted to be an honest purveyor of something that I'd found had worked for me. So that superfood substrate that we use, it's a Peruvian purple corn chia seed herb quinoa mix that just dude, it's crazy. It supercharges our mushrooms. We have the healthiest, most nutrient robust mushrooms on the market. We even caught the attention of Penn State University, and we posted the research we did with Penn State University on our website. Everyone else is doing third-party testing. We pay a couple $100 to a third-party lab, and they give you the thumbs up. Like, hey, yeah, good. You don't have any heavy metals in there. Yeah. Well, fantastic. You shouldn't have heavy metals in your mushroom supplement.
No kidding.
So, everyone feels good. Pat yourself on the back. But we went above and beyond. We went to Penn State University. We had them measure against one of those big companies out there that I mentioned earlier. We knocked them out of the park. We're so far above and beyond as far as key nootropic compounds because of this amazing high quality substrate that we use. And again, at the end of the day, it's all for the customer, because I don't want to sell something. I don't want to have to wrap it in a bunch of marketing where it's the same as everyone else out there. So that's a huge point for us. And if you want, I can tell you about a couple New Hampshire events we're doing over the next month or two.
Please
where people
do.
can come try it for free
Yeah.
and get great deals and, learn about it and talk to our doctor.
They're going to have to fight me for the samples. I'll tell you that, man.
It looks good in front of the booth, man. Get a little skirmish going.
As I stand there with a mouthful of gummies.
Yes, dude. Yes. We do need a mascot, Ray.
Chris, before you get too far, how about a URL, a website that folks can go in case they want to see what we're talking about?
Sure. It's just brainwaveusa.com.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little about the business side? Why does the product exist? What was going on in your life?
Oh, man. So, I was a bartender. I was a woodworker. I was everything that I just refused to go down that corporate road.
Yep.
Eventually, I was walking parallel to it, kind of doing a consulting business after I'd launched a business on Amazon for this other entrepreneur. He hired me. How I learned like the e-commerce online side of things. And then a big agency hired me. And I was like a lead account manager for them, where I was handling 7 or 8 of their brands. And man, I was so stressed out. Here I am at, I was probably 38, 39 years old with my first big boy job. The first job that ever gave me insurance and a healthy paycheck. And I was like, all right, let's give this a try. Deep down, I knew I was going to hate it, and I should have trusted my gut. Man, dude, everyone running around with their hair on fire. Everything was an emergency. I'm pulling my hair out, like just frustrated with this. And I'm looking for some relief. And I find a reishi supplement. And reishi is a really cool mushroom. They call it the mushroom of immortality. It's fantastic for your immune system, but it's also a powerful adaptogen. So a lot of people take it for stress, calm, help with cortisol levels, and as a sleep aid as well. So I found this, it was a gummy. I took it. I found it to be effective.
Okay.
It felt like it rounded the corners off sharp stress. So when some idiot would email me with what they perceived to be an emergency, instead of flying off the handle and having to calm myself down, I was basically acting more like an adult, more mature.
Yeah. It's a good way to describe it, too. Taking the edges.
Yeah. So I found it to be effective, and I knew that it was a trending supplement. Mm-hmm. But I also knew that there was a lot of history behind it, so I didn't think it was going to go the way of CBD, where it was a huge flash in the pan and then it would go away, because it's already been around for thousands of years, and as a supplement, I should say. And CBD is an extraction in a sense. It's a manipulation of the of the marijuana plant.
Yep.
These aren't. These are pure. They grow the way they are, and we use the whole thing. So when I found it to be effective, and I said, hey, this looks like a good business opportunity, as someone who's always wrestled with having any sort of authority in their life, I always knew that I would start my own business.
Yep.
And I sort of had, before with my woodworking shop, working for startups, doing little side projects, my own consulting agency. But none of them hit home. None of them felt like as much of a gut play as this did. And this is what it started as. It started as a gut play. The business side made sense. And I said to myself, if I can put out the best product on the market, I'm going to, what do they say? I'm going to burn the boats. And, and I did. The boats have been burned. And we're out here. Thank you. Over 2 years in, and we're getting amazing reviews and incredibly rewarding results from our customers. So, yeah, glad I burned the boats. But, yeah, it just started on a gut play, a need, something I found that worked. And then I said, yeah, when I looked into the product that worked, it wasn't even that high quality of a product. So I go, man, if I can just put this together, and when I found my production partners, when I found that organic regenerative farm with the superfood growth process, it was all green light. So that's the wrap on it.
So let me ask some questions about the product itself. Can you take too many? Have you had any feedback on any negative reactions? I have a cabinet full of, I'm doing air quotes here, potential nootropics. I mean, I have a cabinet full of them, and my wife's threatening to cut the credit card off for me, but I'm always on the hunt. But these they're so subtle. They're so and enjoyable. I mean, they really are the first thing that hits my mouth in the morning. And my wife's. We get up, the bag's right by the coffee pot. We take our two, start the coffee, the day's going. So have you had any negative feedback? Can you take too many? Would it conflict with other nootropics or things that people might take?
Mm-hmm. So great questions. First thing I'll say is you can't really take too many. There's really no, and I'm doing air quotes here too, toxicity level on them.
Yes.
But I mean, and I can tell you this personally because I have, sometimes if I don't have dessert in the house, I get a sweet tooth.
I'm with you.
Dude, I've had 10 or 20 of these throughout the day when I'm shooting videos.
What?
So like if I'm shooting videos, right, promotional videos, and I'm popping them, I'm not spitting them out. I'm eating them. So I've had a bunch. And the thing that happens for me is I just feel really calm after 10, 15 of these things. Now, of course, it's a waste. You want to spread them out. You don't want to spike yourself. And there's a couple grams of raw organic cane sugar in there.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to get too much of that stuff. It's, raw organic cane sugar, in my opinion, is the way to go for sweetener.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
Hang on. We'll get to one more break here.
Okay, we'll get back to it.
We are deep. I am loving this, and I appreciate it so much. Folks, you are listening to NH Unscripted. I hope you're having as much fun as I am, and this is why we exist. Knowledge like this is what has to get out. We are coming to you from the Green Acres Like Digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester. Chris Joseph from Brainwave is on the line. We will be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. I know. Yeah, you're reaching for your bag of brainwave, aren't you? Yeah, we got you here. We are coming to you from the YMCA-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. My God, I can smell the pool chlorine all the way over here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. NHTalkRadio.com, by the way, is our URL. Chris Joseph is on the line from a company called Brainwave. Chris, you say you have some New Hampshire events coming up? Is that true?
Yeah, we're going on tour. It's like a rock tour with mushrooms.
Ooh, sweet. We'll see the bus out there somewhere? The tour bus?
Oh, man, we're working on the bus. Yeah, that's next. Right now, it's just my Toyota Tundra with 300,000 miles on it. That's the company vehicle at the moment. Yeah, honestly, man. Honestly, yeah.
So what are the events coming up? Where are they... fire away. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so we got a big one I did last year. Had a blast. Portsmouth Market Square Day.
Ooh.
That was a big one last year. And this year, my doctor, Dr. Andrew Woodham, is going to be there. This guy is a brain, and he loves to talk about mushrooms. So he's an immunologist. He's a scientist, Harvard educated. So go pick his brain. He loves giving away gummies. He loves answering questions. That's June 13th. Right. Portsmouth Market Square Day.
That's coming up.
It's coming up, man. Yeah, right. Woo. Like this weekend. And I'll be, I would run it, but I got to run down to New York. We've got a festival in Glen Falls.
Wow.
But the next one in New Hampshire after that, we've got, let's see here. We've got the New England Sea Glass and Craft Festival at the end of the month. That's going to be June 27th and June 28th.
Where is that?
That's in Durham.
Okay.
And then I wanted to mention a few that are out in July that are my favorite events I've ever been to. They're amazing, and they're run by an amazing woman, Joyce Endy. She is incredible. She's put these events together. They're called Joyce Endy's Craft Shows. We've got one July 4th and 5th weekends. Okay. That's in Gunstock, New Hampshire.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah, and we'll be posting these on our social media as well. On you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram at Brainwave Mushrooms. And if you sign up for our newsletter, we'll send that to you as well. And if you pop onto our website, you can try Brainwave for 15% off. But anyways, Joyce Endy's Craft Shows. Man, what a community of New England-based small businesses, from soap to wood carving to mushrooms.
That's interesting.
Artists, dude, it's honestly, man, it's one of my favorite things I've ever got involved in. The community atmosphere there is incredible. If you want to support small business and just an amazing culture,
that's in
go
Gunstock?
take a walk.
That's at Gunstock.
Yeah, that one's in Gunstock, and then she's got ones in. My favorite are the ones that she has in North Conway at Schuler Park.
Dude, I love going to North Conway for those craft fairs.
Yeah, that's her, man. The field there at Schuler Park.
Yeah, across the street from like Zeb's and all that stuff up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll see her bombing around the event on her go-kart, not her go-kart, her golf cart. Go-kart would be interesting. But yeah, she's got ones in North Conway. I think the next one in North Conway is July 25th and 26th. She's got one in Wolfboro, July 10th and 12th. And then she's got the one in Gunstock, the 4th and 5th. And we'll be at every single one of those because she is just an amazing woman. And I'm next to another guy who's awesome as well. Some amazing local honey that he whips like turmeric and cinnamon and chocolate into. I mean, it's just, I can't say enough about these shows.
Oh, my God. I mean, I'm so in.
Man. Let's go.
So how do you, as a new kind of business guy, is it everything you expected, more than you expected, less than you expected?
Honestly, I think I dialed it in perfect. I mean, I waited, I'm 41 now. And I took a couple shots when I was younger, but they were kind of halfway in.
Yeah.
But I read a lot of books, and I worked with a lot of startups, and I consulted for a lot of businesses. So I really saw the spectrum and educated on myself on the spectrum. So when things go upside down, I don't panic. I've seen it before to some degree or another.
Yes.
I'm also like an avid snowboarder and surfer. So like, I love that sort of adversity. And it kind of makes everything else feel easy when you're, looking at a 10-foot set of closeout waves dropping on your head. So between that and sort of my quote unquote, and these are big air quotes, professional experience, it's really, nothing surprises me. Can it be frustrating? Of course. But, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I couldn't have a boss now ever again in my life. Not that I ever had one in the traditional sense, except for that little stint. And that drove me crazy. So I know where my lane is.
Yeah. Dude, I love entrepreneurs. I really do. For many reasons. One, I love their courage. I love the fact that they think outside the box. I love the fact that many of them are fearless. They don't mind falling. Because falling, they learn, right? That's exactly what happened with you. Start a couple of things. You learn what doesn't work. Hey, you just get better and better as the business goes on. That's Jeff Bezos. Went from selling books. Yeah. Selling books to Amazon. Holy Toledo.
I know. And what's funny is I don't have huge dreams as far as, I want to make $10 million.
Eat more gummies. You'll have better dreams.
There you go. Yeah, I can't argue that.
So do you guys have any other product? Not that but if they're as good as the gummies, and I mean, this is this is a testimonial. It's unpaid for. I just love the product, and I'm so glad we finally got a chance to talk about it. Do you have any other stuff?
Yeah, we got tinctures.
Oh, you do?
Same superfood grown mushrooms, from that Regenerative USA organic farm.
Yeah.
But instead of mixing them together into a gummy, we individualize them. So if you wanted to focus on something, let's say, my mother loves the cordyceps. It helps her keep her energy balanced through the day so she doesn't get that 2 or 3 p.m. slump. People that want better sleep quality or they're stressing, they take the reishi. And it's a concentrated form. So with the gummies, it's an amazing, well-rounded mix.
Yeah.
With the lead mushroom being lion's mane for cognitive health. But, if someone came to me and they said, I need more energy, I wouldn't point them towards the gummies. I'd point them towards the cordyceps. So it's a really nice way to round out our offering. And we've got that we've got the cordyceps, reishi. Yeah, we've got all 6 of our mushrooms in tincture form. And I'll let you in on a little secret, which is we are coming out with a sweet formula in the future. I'm hoping to get that done by the end of the year because to me, it's right in line with our mission.
You're coming out with what? Say that again.
Like a sleep formula.
Oh.
Help people fall asleep and get better quality sleep.
That would be a different combination of the mushrooms where maybe one is more highlighted than another. Like you wouldn't take lion's mane, right, before bed.
Right. What we'd probably do is we'd shrink the dose of lion's mane, we'd up the dose of reishi, and we may even introduce a couple of other herbs or potentially a melatonin type substance.
Got you.
maybe not melatonin. We'll see. But yeah, exactly. We tweaked the formula to enhance sleep quality. I'm a huge believer. I'm a napper. I'm a guy that, I need my 7 to 8 hours.
Dude, wait till you're my age. Don't start on napping. Jesus.
Well, that's what, I think a lot of people are struggling with sleep these days, and I think it's in line with our mission, because it's so important to think clearly. If we're truly a company that wants to help people with their cognitive health, then sleep is a massive part of that.
You're not kidding.
I think it fits.
Yeah, I have terrible sleep. Terrible. I mean, I am one of those people who my brain just does not shut off at all. And I have taken, I'm just going to say, other types of products to help sleep. Nothing. So I'm going to be looking at that tincture real closely.
Take a peek, Ray. Take a peek and let me know. I'll send you a bottle to try.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do that. How long did it take you to get to this point? When you first thought, this mushroom thing could be a hot idea. It's not easy to go from, I know I might want a mushroom product, to the quality that you've put out. So how long did it take you to find a lab? How long did it take you to find the area, the place where they're all growing in the U.S.? And you're particularly proud of what the material they're grown in. So how long did that process take?
Yeah, from the light bulb moment until my first prototype was about 4 months. From the prototype to the final product was probably another 4 months.
It was.
So probably about, somewhere in that 8-month range from, I remember sketching down ideas in my journal, and I wanted to call them gushrooms initially, because I thought it'd be a cool name for and I was thinking about brain candy. I had all sorts of source. I was thinking about calling it source because our source was so important.
Yeah.
But gushrooms I thought was pretty catchy. And then it turns out I found someone else that later on entered the market with some cheap product called gushrooms. They blew it. But yeah, start to finish, it was a fun process. Actually, launching a product, creating the product, that is my favorite part of entrepreneurship.
Okay, hang on to that thought. Hang on, because that's gold right there. Folks, you are listening to NH Unscripted. Oh, yeah. Come on, get out of your PJs. Join the fun here. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios here in Concord. My God, it is absolutely cavernous in here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans in Concord, 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls of Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Chris Joseph from a company called Brainwave. I'm telling you, put this on your calendar. Go out there and look at it. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. Probably on the edge of your seat, just waiting for the rest of this information. We are coming to you from the Hollywood Square-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I love sitting in that center square. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester's on your Sony Walkmans. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. By the way, WKXL is celebrating 80 years of community radio. It's a long time to be doing anything. This show airs every Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Mondays, that's our Wayback Machine Mondays. Plays songs from the 60s. Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 a.m. Shows like this. We're talking with Chris Joseph from Brainwave with a re-airing at night, 8 p.m. Anyway, Chris, I stopped you. You were talking about your journey, how you first figured it out and how long it took you to get to market. And I have a lot of questions along the way, so finish that up, sir, if you would.
Yeah. I think I was just saying how much I love the creation process. It's probably my favorite part of life. Whether it's, like I said, I had a woodworking shop, and I love everything from sketching out the design all the way through the execution. And with Brainwave, dialing in the formula, talking with the real pros, the doctors, the scientists, and how this formulation was supposed to make us feel, and going back and forth to the prototypes. Oh, hey, can you drop this ingredient? Can we add a couple more grams of of mushrooms, etc.? And dialing in that process, bringing it from what's an idea in your head, getting it into the real world, and watching it sort of manifest before you is my favorite part.
Yeah.
And it's my strength, I'd say. How
did you come about with the end formula? Knowing, I mean, you've got, did you say 7 mushrooms in there?
6.
6. How did you come away with the final formula of, this percentage of this one? I mean, I can't believe, it had to be a lot of trial and error, right?
It was. So what I would do is we'd start with, formula A, right? Yeah. And that was, I would speak with my formulating doctor, do my own research, and then sort of show him what I want, the effects I want, and he would say, okay, we're going to try this, right? Formula A.
Okay.
He'd send me a bunch of prototypes. I would then take them myself, of course, as controlled as possible, without coffee and over time and in different, arenas.
Coffee.
And then,
oh my God.
I know.
Living on the edge there, buddy.
I have my stints. I can go like 1 or 2 weeks tops.
All right.
But yeah, and then I'd send them to friends. I'd send them to anyone who would take them. I would do taste tests. I would, ask them to let me know if they felt anything in the short term, if they felt anything after 2, 3, 4 weeks. And I, have to follow up with like all those people, and it's mostly friends and family. But the majority of it is leaning on the science. It's leaning on those true pros, and hoping that they guide you in the right direction while being firm enough in what you want, to balance that. And just many iterations of that, back and forth, which, if you're molding something out of clay, it's almost like passing something back and forth, and you're doing little designs, he's doing little designs until that formula, that result matches what you had in your head.
Man, oh man, I cannot imagine that journey. So, first of all, how many people are in the company?
It's really just me. I've got a couple guys that I would say are kind of like my right-hand man. Got a guy, Jake, from Rhode Island. He's been running events for me almost since day one. I've got Andy, who, likely he'll end up earning himself a piece of equity in this company, because what he contributes is incredible as far as his knowledge base, the articles he writes for our business, the way he dissects the science and shares it with our customers. He's an amazing guy to have running events as well. So those are my 2 guys that, they're just awesome. And then I've got an awesome team as well, and it's growing. I've got people in New Jersey and in Florida who run events for us as well. And it's a growing team that's just, most of them part-time. Andy is probably the closest guy to full-time I have, and he's really not even full-time.
Wow.
And then as far as, the ownership stake goes, it's really just me.
That's it?
That's it. Dude. I wouldn't want it any other way.
What?
I wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah, I need to make the shots. If I sink the boat, I need to sink the boat myself.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I love the packaging, too. It's a whole separate world in and of itself, because it has to be attractive. It has to explain what's going on to a consumer. Whoever did that for you, kudos to them. I love the packaging.
Shout out to Alexa Noe, my cousin. She's got her own design studio. She's awesome. When I had the initial logo ideas, I went right to her, because we'd worked together in the past, and she helped me create that logo and the packaging. She did the packaging design, and I wanted to give it a surfy feel, hence the brain wave, surfing being a big part of my life. And then, of course, just the flow of the ocean. It sort of subtly communicates that, we want you to be calm, at peace, in a flow state. Yeah. So I thought that was a nice, subtle way of communicating that without just outright saying it.
Yeah, it's subtly beautiful. Like the product. It's very subtle, but it's very attractive. Very, very, it commands your attention right away when you look at it.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think we nailed that one right out of the gate. So I'm grateful for that.
Definitely. So they come in bags of 60? Supposedly it's like for one person?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, month supply for one person.
Yeah, that's maybe my downfall. We need like big bags, baby, like Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. Halloween bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Where's the company going to go from here? Do you want to stay localized? I know you say you have some presence in New York. You're in Maine. You got a guy in New Jersey. Are you trying to get like full country coverage, or do you not care for that?
It's not a priority. I started to really like identify ourselves as like an East Coast brand. A New England brand is really what we're from.
Yes.
I mean, I grew up in Mansfield, Massachusetts. I used to bartend in Boston and Faneuil Hall and Southsea. I mean, I'm a New Englander through and through, even though I lost my accent. And we have a strong presence here, a strong market presence, and a strong community presence. We get involved with special needs surfing events. We even ran our own last year, and we've got 2 on the books this year. We're going to be taking probably 5 to 10 special needs students out of Genesee Beach. Yeah, man, it's a big part of what we do. Just being at these markets and volunteering where we can. So we're a New England brand through and through. Mm-hmm. I tried an event out in California, kind of bombed, picked the wrong event, operating far outside of our supply lines, so to speak. And it just made me realize, keep it simple, keep it strong, keep your feet underneath you, grow this thing organically, don't overreach, don't get out over your skis.
Wow.
And, and we're just going to step-by-step charge, man.
Oh my God, I don't know how you rein that in. I'd be wanting to charge to everything I could.
It's tough. And trust me, New England is all I can handle right now. It's like all the bandwidth I have, so it's fine. There's still so much meat on the bone here. If I had big investment, if I had, some guy, here's a couple $1 million, go nuts, I could blow it up if I had more resources. But the beautiful thing is I like not having those resources because I have to be smart. I have to be clever. I have to be undeniable. Because we don't have those marketing dollars. We don't have those advertising dollars. I can't hire a staff to go canvas the West Coast. I have to be undeniable. We have to be the best. It's our only option. It's our only edge.
So how are sales for you then?
Good. Yeah. We grow month over month. Yeah.
Yeah, you are good.
Yeah, every month, man. I mean, if you look at our charts, our subscriptions, our monthly revenue is going up every month. Well, not every month it goes, but year over year, we've grown 200%. We've tripled sales since in 2024 we launched. It wasn't quite a full year. 2025 we tripled our sales.
Wow.
2026 we'll likely double our sales or more. So it's going well for sure. Still a challenge.
Yeah.
Cash flow. Cash flow is that's something I'm learning about.
Yeah. Whole science in and of itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it turns out cash is important.
Huh, who'd have thunk it?
I would have thunk it, yeah, exactly. But I'm learning.
So you see the numbers coming in all the time, and a lot of what you do is just you don't do a heavy amount of advertising, right? I get an email every now and then, but you don't bother me other than that. Is that we try and only say something when we have something to say. We don't want to just you don't
grab some
me.
template and make noise. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say we are kind of revamping our email strategy a little bit.
Yep.
But as far as paid advertising, we've done some paid advertising with some success. We had to pull back on that because I started running out of inventory.
Yes.
And when we tried to engage again, we weren't getting the same results. So that's a huge challenge for me. But it's also why these markets are such a great new customer funnel for us. So,
Dude, I have to cut you off.
No worries.
I know. You believe that. You believe at the end of the show. But give us your URL one more time.
You got it, man. brainwaveusa.com, Ray. Appreciate you, man.
No problem. Hang on time. We'll talk to you after we end this. Folks, you were listening to NH Unscripted. I hope you're getting as much out of this as I have been. I just love this kind of stuff. We are coming to you from the not-so-overly ostentatious digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Yeah, go find this brainwave stuff. You will not regret it, I promise you. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.